Yo, 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 yo. Thursday night live, 9:08 live. It's supposed to be 9:05, but we was having a couple technical difficulties. See if the good sir Chad Law is ready to go. Let's see.
Yo, I hear you. Can you hear me?
There you go.
I can't hear you now. It just cut off on me. That's random. And the screen is good. Now I can't hear you. Mm, but there's too many glitches going on. Muffled.
Yo.
That was the best for some reason.
All right, what about now?
Getting there. Better, but still sound a little bit. Keep saying something though.
Yo. You hear me?
Better. All right. Yeah, we Gucci now. We good.
All right. So we're live on this here Thursday evening. Rolling through some technical difficulties, but this is episode number 118, I think.
That's right. That's right. Would be right if I was live from the car phone. You know what I'm saying? Just got out of a good workout. I'm feeling good. I was like, shit, we're going to talk these grabs tonight. We're going to try to maybe do this joint under an hour so I can get home and shower.
We can do this in 37 minutes, dogs. We can be
Yeah, I
done.
think this is going to be a good episode. We got a good structured episode tonight. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got no guests. We ain't got, it's a slow news week, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't got no pay-per-views. It's just us giving y'all a good recap. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of good fun this past weekend at House of Glory. It's a lot of good talk, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all
House of
for
Glory
always
was
tuning
fun.
in. House of Glory was good as shit. I
House
don't know
of
if you want
Glory
to get
was
into
fun.
it now, but if you want to do our intros and get it popping, drop the theme. You know
We here. I dropped the theme at like a random time. We just, we here. It's Thursday. It was Thursday. Somebody make a point, and I just hit the joint.
Good point. Peace to y'all. It's the Ringside Club.
Nah, man, it's been cool. It's been cool like that. House of Glory was fun. Was that Saturday?
Yeah, man. It was already on Saturday.
So that was the 15th. That was a good time. So Mercedes packed that entire venue out. Took you like 45 to find parking. Ryan like 40 to find parking. Book got there like dumb early, and that's the only reason why he was able to pull up comfortably.
But you know what though? I actually made it on time. I was able to see the whole show. It was a kick-ass show. Every match for the most part, you know what I mean? They banged in their own respective way. You know what I mean? That
Man,
was
it
a
was fun.
thorough House of Glory card.
Montekia versus Danhausen.
All right. Maybe not that one. That one lost me, y'all. That match
Lost you, but I had a good time. That was fun. That was the comedy break. That was the third match, I think. You know what I mean? Dijak got there maybe 5 minutes after you got there and was in the opening match against Zilla Fatu.
Definitely showed up just in time. You know what I'm saying? Just in time for that. Dope seeing Zilla live for the first time, man. I never got a chance to see him live, so that was cool, bro. That was dope to see what he's on the rise of, like becoming. Homie is gonna be a problem.
Yeah, and he's got a hell of a connection with the with any crowd that he's in front of. You know, partially because of the bloodline, no pun intended, but because of his bloodline. But then partially just he's good. You know what I mean? Like he's just really, 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 really good. This is my second time. I saw him at the Fourth Rope joint in Chicago. That was my first time there, and he just has a presence. Like he has a real legitimate presence. Almost, I don't want to say like Jacob Fatu-esque, but in a way where he just moves a little bit more authentic than your everyday average pro wrestler. You know, so and that was a solid match, man. Like they started that show off with a banger, Fatu versus Dijak. You know,
he's Jimmy and Jacob meshed together. Not Jimmy. He's Jay. More Jay and Jacob put together. Well, I guess byproduct Jimmy too. So he is a mesh of everybody. I can tell, like a miniature Jacob. But I think over under, I'm gonna give him another year on the Indies. I don't want to see it rushed to see him go to WWE just yet. That's one guy I want to see continue to be the king of the independents for now and continue to build his stock. So when he does pop up, it's a big ass deal and not a. I don't really know who this guy is.
Yeah, he's a belt collector right now. You know, fourth
Yes.
rope champ, House of Glory crown jewel champ. I'm pretty sure he's got a couple of another title or two that I don't know off the top of my head. You know what I mean? So he's doing this thing.
Indy,
Solid show.
salute
Yeah.
to Indy
Yo,
Hartwell.
Indy Hartwell
It's
versus
great.
Mercedes Moné was so fun. That was
Mercedes
such a
don't,
fun match.
Mercedes don't have bad matches. It's impossible. She killed it with Indy Hartwell. It was great to see them both live. Y'all know I'm a big Indy Hartwell guy from NXT, but it's good to see her thriving. I think Indy should go to AEW or TNA. I mean, there ain't really too many other choices, but I think she'd thrive in the knockouts division. Like, that's a division that needs a shot in the arm, and Indy Hartwell can come through and do just about right now in his current stance what Naomi / Trinity did during her run. You know what I'm saying? Give some eyes, some popularity, and she could still mingle with the NXT crowd like it was, like it's nothing. So I thought that was a great one. Main event, man. Literally, the main event.
The main event.
Those guys won me over.
The
All
main
four.
event are rightfully main event acts when it comes to House of Glory. They've been holding it down. On record, they have the Briscoes last match.
Really?
Yeah, the Ring of Honor match against FTR was, I think, the last televised, like, at least televised by a major company. This might have been on like Triller or Fight or something like that. But main event has the Briscoes last tag team match before Jay unfortunately passed away.
Okay.
But they've been riding out with House of Glory for quite some time, and they came from opening act all the way up to, no pun intended, the main event. Like, they put their work in.
Three-time champion, I believe.
Something like that.
First time I saw them in person was that show in a year or so ago. Speedball Mike Bailey showed up.
Yeah.
Swerve, they were cool. It didn't really, like, the circus act wasn't really, my cup of tea. But I think this reiteration of them and this feud with CBK at fire too, by the way, man. They definitely dope faction. Charles Mason's group. I like CBK. Like I said, all four won me over, and main event put out a statement, live on the mic in front of all of us, that they are a top tag team and they deserve to be, featured on a televised wrestling program. So where do you think main event could fit in well at? Because when I mentioned it on Twitter, my shit was kind of lighting up off the feedback. And shout to what is homie's name? Oh my god, it escaped me. The black dude. Who was the black dude in main event? What is his name? It's literally escaped me, but he definitely
Midas, ain't it?
There we go. He appreciates the support. He's watching. He's tapped into everything. Like, he's a guy who's a wrestler who's actually, like, in the social media, like, yo, I'm searching my name, I'm checking this shit, checking it out. Like, so, you know what I mean? Where do you see them going, yo?
Going to TNA, I think, would be kind of fire for them.
Me too.
It's interesting because they have such a very specific type of gimmick that I could see them in different places, but like WWE, for example, they'd have to change up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, you go to WWE, and if you have that act on a stage that big, or even AEW on a stage that big, you can end up being typecast.
Yeah.
So you end up kind of being that, like, a comedy act, and that's all you're ever going to be there.
They
Versus
beat
if
Jose, Adam Rose, they could
exactly
be pigeonholed into
exactly,
which is crazy to say for that quality of tag team. But when you look at
but it's not the work.
independent,
Yeah, but it's not the work. Like, that works on the difference between independent and televised is you're just going to see a show. Like, when we saw House of Glory, it's not like we're tuning in to House of Glory on Monday to see the fallout. It's just a show. And if you follow House of Glory over time and you go to all the shows and you follow storylines, that's one thing. But when you're doing televised, storyline driven, a few 100,000 to a few million people watching any particular show, it's very easy for that to be all you know. Like, perfect example, the Bushwhackers on WWF television is a complete 180 from the Bushwhackers that was not on TV. They were just straight up extreme blood fights, brawls, In WWF, they were doing all of this and licking faces.
That's all I ever knew the Bushwhackers for.
Exactly. Like if you go and look up the Bushwhackers and see like even just still photos of some of their old like outside of WWF, and then by the time they got to WWF, I think they were a little older anyway. But you know, all we know of the Bushwhackers was that lighthearted, this is friendly, good for kids type of thing. But so when we're talking about main event, depends on what their goals are. Number one, creatively, monetarily
Definitely.
wise, if it's like, we got it, like it's the same thing with deals in the music. Like there's sometimes there is no real choice to make. You know what I'm saying? Like if this is going to get me out of my situation right now, I got to take the L now, or take the L like long term on what this deal really says, because this might move me a little bit. You know what I mean? So creatively, they might take an L if WWE AEW wants the main event act as is and isn't willing to let them grow. But depends on what they want monetarily and creatively. I think TNA is probably the best place for them
I
as
agree.
this act, without having to change, and then also without not being on the stage big enough that they're going to get a typecast. But
And they make a
solid
well enough
show.
splash in NXT. They'll be able to open the portal and jump right through to NXT to where it'll be like, oh snap, like main event is here.
Yeah.
Like
The portal's there, but if they make it to TNA, if I were in their shoes, TNA knocks on the door, yo, we want to sign you. Little by little, I'm starting to make adjustments to my act because I know that portal is right there.
Because when they go to WWE, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna put a homie in a lion costume.
They're gonna be on the
They're
gonna be on the
real lion
conga line.
costume.
They're gonna be on the conga line running around the ring. 24/7 tag team division.
The gimmick that we saw them in that December show with Speedball is how I think WWE would exactly keep them. Like Midas would have the big hat. They'd be a real circus act.
No,
Which
that is their act.
Wavy.
That 1000% is their act. It was only different this past weekend because that was more of a serious type of thing, careers versus titles. 2 out of 3 falls.
It'll enhance
9 shows out of 10. It's top. It's the big top. You know what I mean? It's Ringling, Brenham, Barnum. You know what I mean?
And that is why I think that TNA is a good start to get them ready. You know what I'm saying? To go forth with that move into the portal of the WWE.
Yeah.
I can't see them being an AEW. I just can't. Like
I can. I think AEW would have them, and they wouldn't change their act if they went to AEW. I think WWE they probably would, or they're stuck. I think if they go to AEW, but I mean, the work is good enough that I'd like to see them on a bigger platform for sure. Talented guys.
Agreed.
And they've been grinding it out for a long time in House of Glory. But that was a good week. That was Saturday. A couple days prior, shouts to the Black Wrestling Podcast. I was on with them. They had me on as a guest, wearing one of the OG Black Wrestling sweatshirts right now.
Press run.
Yeah, I was making the rounds, man.
Damn.
Thursday I was on Black Wrestling. Saturday we went to House of Glory. Sunday I was on with the Black Guy Wrestling Pod. Shouts to the fam. We'll be on the Black Guy Wrestling Pod this coming Tuesday. Homicide's last match I believe was today.
Tonight.
So we'll have we'll be chopping it up about Homicide on Tuesday's edition of the Watch List. I think Heartbreak Julio is going to be there. Of course, the whole BGW regular team will be there. And then this past Tuesday, I was on Kings of the Rings pod. Shouts to Ricky Rose. Had me on. I think that was my second time on there. First time since they dropped the theme that I did for him. So that was really cool to hear that live and direct. So it's been a busy few days for the Ringside Club in general, and me in particular. These hats, that QR code that's right above my head, take it directly. Yeah, they really are. They really are. I just tweeted out before we went live, like thinking about like maybe tomorrow, sometime over the week, and just doing like a little thank you video, just in general, post it up on socials.
That's smart.
This is the fastest selling hat that I've ever put out. It's the 5th original hat that I've done, and this is the fastest.
It's original. You know what I'm saying? It's relatable and original.
Yeah.
So it's doing wonders. Great quality.
Yeah, it's really. I'm super happy with the quality and the way that the hat came out. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I wouldn't have put it up. How
do you clean a white hat, by the way, just so our viewers know?
Well, this one is leather. You could just wipe it. This one is leather. You know what I mean? You could just
That's right, y'all. It's a leather cap.
It's a
So
leather cap,
that lets you know it's real good, authentic quality.
lightweight leather too. You know what I mean? So you could rock this in the summer, and you ain't gonna die.
Son, K Slay would have loved 3 of these.
Yo, Papoose and K Slay would have bought
They would have ciphered up crazy.
they would have bought a bundle.
They would have went crazy in
They would
this.
have bought a bundle. You know what I mean? But all but one order is out, and that's only because one came out after USPS closed today. So I'm gonna drop that in the mail early in the morning. And these are moving, you know what I mean? So appreciate everybody, not only that purchase, appreciate everybody that had me on as a guest to help promote. And we're here. So that being said, fine time to start the show.
Peace to y'all, it's the Ringside Club Paul. A.O. Blame Boogie, Chad Law. The power's back, triple power bomb. The big dog trio in the stream, y'all. Go outside, hit the venue guard. It's all love when you see us, Lord. Back to the pad, on air for the pod. Ringside Club, intro to the squad. Let the show start.
Yeah. Rocking with us about 16 and a half minutes so far. But for those that don't know, you tuned into the Ringside Club, man. Episode number, what did I say? 117, 118, something like that. 118, 118, 118. It's your boy, man. We're here Thursday Night Live. You can find us across all socials. That includes X, where we're live streaming currently. YouTube, we're live streaming currently. Instagram, Threads, TikTok. Find us on all of those social media platforms. Blue Sky, we're right there as well. And you can, of course, subscribe to the podcast, the aforementioned YouTube plus Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of the podcast platforms, man. This is brought to you by WrestleHats, WrestleHats.com. My name is A.O. Baker. What it do? Chad, what up?
Kid, Smoke Dog himself, CHADLAW, Chad Law, currently partaking in the campaign. Just dropped some album reviews, CL First Listen. It is on the actual streaming platforms, streaming on the social platforms, Instagram, TikTok. TikTok is definitely, get my TikTok followers up, man. I clean my TikTok up, and my TikTok is terrible, but it's organic. So salute to everybody that's rocking with me on TikTok. Yeah, and the album review is doing real well. We got catalog cuts coming. Just got a nice little logo put together for it, so it's gonna be a beauty.
Fire.
Yeah, so we cooking some shit, man. I would have had my hat on, but just got out the gym, so I ain't want to have a sweaty hat on a fresh brim. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no good.
Yeah. Like that's a hat. It's such good quality that like I only can save that for like when I'm like in motion, or like if I'm like at the crib podding, it's like, or if I'm in motion going to somewhere calm where I don't gotta have a head sweat. That's a good hat where I don't want like that forehead sweat to even like come near.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
This is solid quality, man. I'm happy with him. Speaking of content, a lot of signatures, 2 signature move episodes that I've been maneuvering and dropping across different platforms. I like that TikTok and Reels and YouTube short space for the signature move right now, somewhere around like 60 to 90 seconds, 2 minutes, somewhere around there, just to really drop some, little known facts, just interesting things. If I find it interesting, I'll drop it on that platform. But there's a
YouTube
signature move.
It's so much. Like, it's so much money on YouTube with this shit. Like, dog, just the fact that I haven't, like, right now my album reviews are backlogged because I'm trying to chronologically put them on the YouTube. And it's
You're
like
dropping them as shorts, right?
As shorts.
Yeah.
60 seconds. But it's like there's almost 300 plus album reviews I've done in the last years, where it's like, yo, that's a lot of albums. So it's like just trying to make sure they're all organized properly. They're in good genres. They're all put together in like actual January, February, March, April, May. You know what I'm saying? It's not just all over the place albums. So salute to the people who
What's that URL? Drop that URL.
Yeah, the Chad Law 100 YouTube, man. You can get those subscribers up. We got a little measly ass, like 24 subscribers right now. Shout out to them, though.
Get it up, man. I made a signature move YouTube that currently is sitting at 9, but last 2 videos, I think one's about 500 and change, and the one I dropped today is just over $1, maybe $2. couple hours ago. You know,
All
the
love.
good thing about the shorts and TikTok and all that is like, and just social in general is way more interest based than it is follower based now. So if you put something out that happens to really pique the interest of whomever's coming across, and they start sharing, or just the algorithm in general will pick that up, then it starts to really, really move, as opposed to you have to have, 1,000 followers to expect anybody to even find your shit.
Right.
That doesn't matter, as it matters, but it doesn't matter as much. You know what I
None.
mean? So, and organically that'll grow over time also. Like, you put quality work out and people are going to find it and then consistently come back. You know what I mean? So it's right there. But checked out that YouTube Chad, is Chad Law 100 or COR 100?
Chad Law 100.
Yeah, there you go.
Make sure y'all follow that. Keep liking and subscribing to Ringside Club, man. We appreciate y'all showing us love as well. Shout out to Nerd Nash. Just subscribe to us as well. See you on
Yeah. Shouts to that content takedown notice I got from putting them the whole Mercedes versus Indy Hartwell match.
That was a bold move. I was like, that. I was like, whatever, it's doing numbers, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I was like, let me see what happens. And within, I don't know, the first 12 hours, they was like, nah, sorry.
That thing was
sorry, buddy.
Bro. My man had the pay-per-view quality up already on the
ringside,
YouTube.
Bro.
You can't even find that match on a run back. And that it was just like on the YouTube so quick. Everybody was loving that. You didn't even realize how popping it was until it was like, wait a minute. This was last night?
Oh, I woke up. Like, I put that up after midnight, right? So then I woke up, let's say 7, 8, and I look over. I was like, whoa, okay. Some motion right there. Almost 10,000 plays, about 100 followers, mad comments.
Bro, the comments.
I'm chatting with the commenters like it's all good. Like, yeah, where was it? Oh, it was last night. It was at House of Glory. House of Glory said, word. Let me George push the button real quick, man.
Wasted no time, yo. They were like, yo, this match just happened. We didn't even put this on our website yet.
Wildin'.
Yeah, that was funny.
Fam, while I was recording that, like, I was like, yo, I'm gonna just get the entrances, and I was like, I'm gonna just grab the whole thing.
Shout out to the short form content.
Shorts
always work. Those entrances, those will be fine.
Yeah, get a little half a promo and you're good to go.
Even private party, you know what I'm saying? With they gin and juice finish, man. They definitely
yeah, I think that was the first time private party was back in House of Glory since they definitely since they lost the title. The AEW titles and all that.
It's the first time anyone's seen them since they lost the title.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they haven't really been outside since they lost those titles. So
that's funny. We'll probably talk more of this when we go into our feud tracker. But I was talking to somebody today, actually, one of a good friend of mine, and he's a casual AEW guy. He's like, yeah, I've been trying to make more effort this year. You know what I mean? To like really watch AEW consistently. And he's like, while it's fine, like the matches are fun. So my one thing about them is like a lot of people that I tend to enjoy just disappear, and I never get to invest in them or care about anything they're doing ever again, and I never see them again. He's like, why is that? And I was just like, I can't really answer that. He was just like, yo, a lot of people that like I was rocking with this year, like Malachi Black, like where's he? Like he's a casual. He's not on the internet. So he's like, I don't know where Malachi Black is. He was like, yo, Private Party lost the belts to Bobby Lashley and Sheldon. It's like I haven't seen them again. And he's just like, Daniel Garcia, like what happened to that guy? I was just like, he's on Saturday. He's like, oh, I don't watch Saturday. I just watch Wednesday. Like, you know. He's like, yo, what happened to Adam Cole? I was like, he's on Saturday. You know, he's still there. He's like, wow, wasn't he in the main event for like that Wembley show? I was like, and this is a guy that's like not on the internet with this, so he's just like, you know what I'm saying? He's just casually like, that's my guy. So it was just interesting conversation whenever I hear this. Like, no real deep dive into it, but I just thought it was a funny tidbit to just hear that from somebody today, like in regards to like, he knows.
I think it's like there's a couple of reasons for that. Like, I think like that roster is so big that if they feel like cycling somebody off of TV, it's not like they have a, they don't have people to pull from.
He said Jack Perry to me, and I was like, damn, you're right. Well,
Jack Perry ain't been on in a minute.
I didn't see Jack Perry in a while. I was like,
man, the whole elite, by the way, right? Like Jack Perry, the Bucks, Okada ain't rolling with them anymore. Okada just been chilling. You know what I mean? So, even they mans that used to hold a camera, Cutler,
Cutler,
He's
Michael.
not going to have any real reason to be around without the Bucks there. But the roster is so big that I think they think you can cycle, which you can do, cycle people on and off. You know what I mean? If you're just not in a feud right now that we have anything for you, then we're still rolling with or without you. You know, it's not like they only have 20 people that they're pulling from. And then the other part is like you mentioned Malachi or like Rusev or all them dudes, you know, they just wasn't happy where they were at. So we out. But
He just said so many names that like I didn't even think about because
Jack Perry is a good one though. Like Jack Perry, if you think about all the conversation that happened when he came back and they played the Punk video and all of that, just came back from the New Japan excursion and all that.
That's talk that was going on the internet was
but he
put the
didn't
world title on Jack Perry.
Yeah, put the world title on Jack Perry is insane.
Yeah, all right, man.
That's insane.
Yeah, man. He said DMD. Like he said some names that I really was just like, I don't even think about them on an average.
Yeah. I saw a lyric last night said that the women's division in AEW right now has like their SmackDown 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they have their consistent, top players, and then bringing Athena up would kind of make it 7. So they have like that rotation of like, we know that we can interact with each other and just put on bangers, and then we'll bring different people in from time to time also into this nucleus and really have some dope programs. But they have their nucleus right now with that 6 or 7.
I'm really looking forward to, you know what, we'll save that. We'll circle that and come back to the AEW when we do our feud tracker. Let's actually start with our Champions Watch for the week, man. How you feel about that? Let's do a Champions Watch, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't done Champions Watch in a minute. This is where we each pick a champion. We organize their week. We tell them how we feel, the positives and all that, and what we're expecting of them, or their title reign, or what's to come. My champion this week is going to be none other than the Street Profits. Finally, them boys got gold. It's been 3 to 4 long years since they've had an actual tag title run that was memorable. They're tweeners now. They've got a darker look. They seem more edgier. They seem tougher. They seem stiffer. Pause. They are actually the real deal right now, and I think that they are primed for a fine title reign through the next couple of months. So I'm happy they won, and they've got a bevy of challengers to keep them busy, to where I don't think they even have to drop the titles. Do I think we'll get a multi-man match at WrestleMania? Absolutely. But I don't think that they will lose the belts until maybe even June. You know what I'm saying? Just to shake things up a little bit, because there is so much depth in the tag division when you actually look around. You know what I mean? So it's my champion for the week. Street Profits. What you feel? How you feeling?
Yeah, I was talking about the Street Profits a little bit with on Kings of the Rings pod on Tuesday, and seeing that they went 4 years without having titles, but also just think about how long they've gone without an actual clear direction and a plan for the team itself.
That's funny.
You know what I mean? Like they were with Bobby Lashley for a bit. Bobby Lashley bounced. B-Fab has been hanging out with him. They've been really close to different title wins. Looks like they at different points were teasing the breakup. But if you look at the Street Profits from 4 years ago, up until they came back and interfered at whatever pay-per-view that was in the that 2 out of 3 with Motor City Machine Guns and whoever else, DIY. Between that 4 years, across that 4 years up to that point, there's really no actual, okay, we're going right now. There was no direction. There was no time where you really felt that the Street Profits were 1,000% a plan in any of these meetings.
No.
You know what I mean? So it's probably going to be a multi-man. That's fine. I'm not mad at that. But because they have those titles, stock is up a little bit as far as the belief that there's going to be some kind of real motion and real plan for the Street Profits between now, let's say, the next 6 months. You know what I mean? So I'm excited about what happens with these titles. It's interesting for them to win the championship in the middle of WrestleMania season, because it seems like this is always the time where like all of these major feuds are pretty much locked. All these directions are pretty much locked. So I see them going in and out of WrestleMania with those titles, because a short reign after not having it for 4 years is that's crazy.
Yo,
so then it's like on the get back, on the backlashes of it all, and Raw after Mania, and for the next couple months after, Now we really have a chance to let's spread our wings a little bit and lock in with one team and have a feud. What's the real direction? Are we even really heels or faces right now? Like they're darker, they're maybe tweeners right now, but what's the real direction? Is there any change? So I like it, man. Like, just to bottom line it and one line it, man. Like the direction for Street Profits, I like it right now. You know what I mean? New tag champs. Let's see what they do.
Gang of people that went through college without seeing the Street Profits hold gold.
Whole diplomas were had, man.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, yeah, I remember those guys from my senior year. It's like, wow. that is crazy.
Man said I was in junior high and now I'm a junior.
Yeah, now I'm actually graduating college and the Street Profits got gold again. Like, what a journey it's been for those guys. So, yeah, it's dope to see, man. It's definitely dope to see. Who's your champion of the week? Who you got?
Monet, man. I'm going with Mercedes. Again, the CEO. Again, speaking about that standing room only crowd from House of Glory with her match against Indy Hartwell. Moving over to Wednesday and having a fire match with Billy Starks. And then the foreshadowing for the Athena rivalry, which will definitely not be just one match. That Athena and Mercedes Monet rivalry is right around the corner. They're not chatting with each other back and forth on socials for no reason. Billy Starks is not on AEW Dynamite for no reason. So we already know what time it is. And just, again, elevating the TBS championship to be something that people want. Like Mercedes is cooking right now, man. Mercedes is cooking, and it's really cool, I think, to see that first couple of weeks to a month to 2 months when she first got to AEW, how some of those opinions have changed. She's won a lot of people over. Yes. You know what I mean? She's won a lot of people over.
For itself, man. Promos might be but the matches are always going to make you go. Yeah,
and again, like I think because her character is super established that she is a heel and she's arrogant, she's like what you call Hillary Banks, bro. If Hillary Banks could wrestle, you would get Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's that, I come from the biggest house on the biggest hill and I just happen to be able to whoop your ass. That's Mercedes Moné.
She's smoking it right now, man.
So that's why I think like the promos, like, you're not getting quotables, but it works for her character. You know what I mean? So it helps to really move whatever she's doing forward. But she's killing it right now. Again, fire ass match with Billy Starks.
Really, really great match quality. She could have a match with a broom and it would get over. Like she could wrestle the inflatable and it would actually be entertaining. So
it was dope.
Mercedes Moné is doing. I don't see her reign ending anytime ever. It's gonna be great to see her elevation into the world title picture. I think when it's time. Because that's a reign of terror that we ain't even scratched the surface of yet. You know what I'm saying?
I think the foreshadowing to Athena, while it might not be on the first match that they have, I think Athena's probably the one that she drops that title to. I've been saying Willow, and right now, based on anything that I'm seeing, I don't know what they're doing with Willow other than she's always involved in the Death Riders feud. She runs out to stop
Marina at some point.
She'll have a match with Marina, but that's not like, once we have that match, it's not like they're running that back, I don't think. You know what I mean? So
Stat got to move up at some point, man. Stat needs some gold, man. Stat's been killing it, bro.
But I just think like because Athena would be coming off the longest reign in Ring of Honor history, men, women, whatever, any belt, for her to actually lose to Mercedes is like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure you want to beat Athena on the come up. Her first anything.
That is very true, because if Mercedes takes that Ring of Honor title, that belt is gonna be more elevated.
Unless I was about to say, unless Madman Tony Khan is like, this is how I get Honor Club subscribers up.
Yes.
Put Mercedes on Honor Club.
Yes, Mercedes Moné is on Honor Club. Now you can sell her, you can sell Chris Jericho, and now Ring of Honor looks popping. So it would suck to see Athena's reign go to shambles like that. But, there is pluses to that for the Mercedes Moné side of things. But Athena would be a good choice. I don't think it should be anybody in the peripheral right now that dethrones Mercedes. There's just nobody ready. Nobody enough besides the Statlander, but we've done that already. She's going to have her Sami Zayn run at another time of the year. But outside of that,
I think like Willow and Stat seem to be like the two mainstays that haven't been elevated yet,
Yeah,
but they're right there. You know what I mean? That's like, Triple H and The Rock when they were feuding over the IC title. It's like in that world, we see the potential for both of them. Just that they haven't pushed the button yet. At
you
some
can.
point this year, there's a lot of buttons that have to be pushed this year for sometimes
I
some of
hope
them are going to be first time champions. Some of them are going to be champions that should have had the belt, like Omega, for example, I think wins the world title at some point this year.
I
Maybe,
think
I don't know.
or I think Osprey before, man. I watched that match with AR Fox and was just like, how does this guy?
True.
How is
Yeah.
he not the main focal point
Yeah.
of this program and the world champion having
Yeah.
outstanding matches, and instead we have the Death Riders? I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it, son. I don't get it, man. The same for me to get, and I'm just gauging what we're watching, what's being given to us, and it's like, man, why is Will Ospreay not at the top already? Like,
Yeah, I think he definitely gets it first, and then they'll do the consolidation title. It'll be the Intercontinental eventually when
what they
Omega wins.
call it is gonna be funny.
It'll be the
How they're gonna
Intercontinental.
try to avoid the Intercontinental is gonna be
Why
hysterical.
avoid it? It's the Intercontinental. WWE ain't the only place that got an Intercontinental title.
You're right.
Who
New
cares?
Japan, they could do it too. The Intercontinental title. It's funny.
Yeah, it's the Intercontinental title.
That'd be Intercontinental title. That'd be something else. Yeah, we got a lot of titles that are already over there in that area that we still need to actually put some spotlight on. So, speaking of Daniel Garcia, Adam Cole, the Saturday collision for the TNT title. I think Adam Cole finally wins gold. I haven't checked any of the spoilers, so I'm hoping that's the outcome. Just for the sake of doing something, man.
That's pre-recorded collision.
Is it? No, you know what? Maybe
I think
it's
it's live, isn't it?
is it live? Because it's Saturday and Sunday.
There's 2 collisions.
Yeah, it's an hour each. They're all going on after
Oh,
the.
so it might be. I don't know. I have no idea. That's news to me.
Yeah, that's what they've been pushing. So I believe it's a stacked card for like lower level C market. Like it's Brian Cage match esque of a card. If you want to pull it up, if you want to check it out, I don't have it in front of me, but I saw the rundown already. It's definitely hopefully Adam Cole being the highlight of winning this match, winning this match, and just actually being the highlight of the show. But just for doing something, man. Daniel Garcia's reign has been okay, but him and Adam Cole, they
Oh,
need
it
to
is
be.
pre-tape because they got spoilers up already. So I'm not
Yeah,
even gonna look at that.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to tap in. I just hope that Adam Cole pulls
Yeah.
out.
Slam dunk Saturday and Sunday. Okay.
Next time we talk about Adam Cole, let's say TNT champion. You know what I'm saying? Let's hopefully go with that.
Probably is.
Let's hope with that. So that's our champion watch for the week, y'all. You know what I mean? Prepped and cooked. Next up, we've got a variety that we are switching. Yes, this is not going to be the previous prepped and cooked that we were just sauteing wrestlers for bad performances in the week. This is the PG era. This is the clean and positive era of the Ringside Club. So we are going to be prepping and cooking, as AO puts it, prepped for success in this coming week, and who's cooking right now. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and say that my prepped for success in the coming weeks is going to be Mike Santana. TNA side of things, man. Mike Santana did a great job of sacrificing El Paso with that entrance that he did. You know what I'm saying, representing Eddie Guerrero with the low rider. Him and Ali had a really, really great match. Those two are going to be future world champions having main event caliber matches for years to come. They're going to be a kick ass. I believe Ali won that one, but Santana got his get back. I believe tonight he should be getting his get back in a rematch. So I
I
think
got
he's
to
prime.
catch up. I think I'm like maybe 2 episodes of TNA behind, but
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think Mike Santana is going to be, you know what I'm saying, a future world champion. I'm ready for him to cross over into the portal and him go after Obafemi next, you know what I'm saying, type ish.
Horse fight.
That would be fire. Because him and
Horse
Moose
fight.
put on a banger. Moose won a lot of people over with that match with Obafemi. So I think Mike Santana is going to be primed and ready to do something next up with that. So it's my prep for success this week. How you feel?
My answer to that is we got to get our TNA UBS arena situation together.
Right, Slammiversary is going to be right around the corner.
Yeah,
Can't
that's
call it with that. Is that Joe Hendry and Elijah as the main event though? Like, oh, man.
that's one of them shows where I don't even care. Like I care, but it's gonna be a good time. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
probably like just the Hardys. It's like Hardys will probably
yeah,
be a hard sell.
it'll be the Hardys. I mean, look, That'll be either, I think, Santana entering the biggest, New York TNA show in a very, very long time, if
True,
not
true,
ever,
true, true.
as the champ or about to become the champ.
You think Joe Henry has a short ring? Mm.
I thought he had a short reign as soon as he won the title. I'm surprised. Like, I'm not surprised he's held on to it this long, but you're not doing a year long of Joe Hendry, bro.
He's about to probably pop up on Raw in Scotland, so I think that's going to boost his stock.
Cool,
You know what
sure.
I mean?
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
He's definitely
I
got.
haven't been able to watch for the last couple of weeks, so
I'm in tune. I'm in tune.
I
It's
just
it's
didn't
looking
think
like
off top, like on paper, let's say, when he won, I'm like, I don't know. This is cool. You have to capitalize on how popular he is, but we'll see. So, but I think, yeah, like Mike Santana winning at UBS Arena is going to be the closest to a hometown pop that he's going to be able to get in TNA.
I
You know what
agree.
I mean? So that's a perfect moment to crown, like, this is our guy. They've already played their hand after that Josh Alexander feud by saying that he's the new standard of TNA. You're not calling the current world champion the standard. You're calling Mike Santana, the uncrowned champion, the standard of TNA. They played their hand. Now it's just, when is it going to happen?
And then it's going to be even more amazing of a babyface run when Kazarian comes through and uses his gauntlet, calling your shot thing, and just takes that title and pisses off thousands of people
So
in New
here's the
York.
thing. I think that Kazarian is probably the one to cash in and beat Joe
Hendrick,
Hendry, because I wouldn't put Joe Hendry as popular as he is, even though this is Santana's hometown. If you're giving Santana that title at the UBS Arena, I don't want face versus face. I want it very, very clear who we're rooting for. It might
I
even be
agree.
a three-way. We could do a three-way.
Yeah, I don't want
They
it to
could
be
do
a
a three-way and have
face to face.
Santana beat. Yeah, they could have Santana beat Kazarian in a three-way, but
That's
I
how
don't
Hendry
want to
won.
risk.
He won the title against the face Nick Nemeth. So I was
Right,
like, and Nick
right.
Nemeth just turned on the last
Turn
episode.
heel. Yeah,
So it's
I
like
saw
that
clips
was
of
a little
that.
too late on that one, folks. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now it's gonna be Hendry involved with the Nemeth brothers because we're never gonna not get Ryan Nemeth in the main event picture. Uh, right now, Elijah is a tag team partner with a potential heel turn, and that'll probably take us through the Slammiversary when we get to whoever his actual opponent's gonna be. And I hope that it isn't Elijah. Not that it's a bad program, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just not. I just don't think Hendry and Elijah is what's going to do it for UBS Arena. Like that sounds like not the main event. Good match, not the main event. Like that sounds like the Hardys is going to sell UBS Arena and Moose and a couple other names. But Santana in the main event picture with Ali, yeah, that's if you want a match, it's a match right there. Kazarian has gotta chill, man. Stop, cast, stop, yo. Insane though, if he does cash in this joint and he's the champion at any
Stop,
point, and
Cass. Stop.
Christian's cash in was mad useless. Like they really waited almost a year to give Kaz this potential title, and Christian's plan was just like, yo, we had nothing to do, so we just wanted to get rid of it. Like legitimately, it was just like, yo, we had no plans for it, so just cash in and get it out of here. Like
Yeah.
that would be insane to me. That like, yo, they wasted a Christian title run, but Kazarian could cash in his money in the bank and win the actual title after holding on to it for the same amount of time as Christian. That to me was a wild stat. Random, but
That's not how I would have done. I'd
nah.
have Christian cash in, have him and Copeland have a feud for that pay-per-view run. In the background, this drives Mox over the edge completely. I was
Yeah.
surprised that the Death Riders, like Pac and Claudio, came back as soon as possible, as soon as they did. Like the
You
three
think
of
so?
them
It's
were
good
taken
enough.
out with but they got hit with concertos. It would make sense. Like I put them on the shelf. You mean to tell me, like, in that amount of time, that's all it took was an extra week for them to be all right? We're good.
It's been 3 weeks for them for the most part. No, just
Nah,
about.
well, whatever it was, like, it's just not what I would have done. You know what I mean?
We
Like, I would have had a good little Christian and Copeland back and forth and then flip flop that title back to Mox if you want to do that. So
You know
you
what's
can.
crazy? As much people as give you discourse will give us discourse about feeling like the way about Cope Hogan, you know what I'm saying, and Christian and the old timers, like
Brother,
I
brother, brother,
guarantee
brother.
you that would have been way more enjoyable on a regular basis for a couple episodes,
Because
and
it would have
then
been short term. We're not doing this long term. This is short term, and I think that's fine. You can do that, fine. And I think the freedom that Copeland and Christian are going to give each other because they're best friends for 30, 40 years or whatever, that's going to make for like the chemistry is there. So that would make for a very interesting, little feud or a little run. And that's the last time you would probably see both of them in a world title picture. I think
I
after
agree
that
on
it'll
it.
be wrap. So why
Moves
not
them
do it?
over. They're
Yeah.
gonna be a tag team to end it. You know what I'm saying?
They'd be on their Hardy Boys run. Just happy to be here. You know what I mean?
How do you feel about never getting to see the reunion of the TLC match crew? You
I
cool with
told
that?
you when that was a topic when they first were coming into AEW on this podcast. I'm like, I don't ever want to see that again.
Yeah.
Why would I want to watch that? Is it going to
Bubba
be
at least
better?
on a well, not a reunion, not a match reunion per se, but like a holy ish, hold like a
Why?
everybody's in the ring together at the same time because they're all under the same umbrella type of
Yo,
vibe.
do a panel. We could do that at Starcade, man.
Oh man,
We could
yo,
do that
I'm
at
trying to
Starcade. We could do that on the Jericho Cruise or something, man. We don't need to. We
That's
don't need to
funny.
eat up TV time with that, bro.
That's funny. And then how do you feel about Cope Hogan? How do you
I
like
don't know,
do you
man. Like,
him not taking any pinfalls or losses like actually directly unless it's to Christian? Like how do you feel about that notion that's been going around on the internet right now?
look, I can't prove it. If I'm looking at what I'm looking at, the only people that he's lost to, like took an L to Christian, I think a couple of times. He just lost to Mox, but it took like 9 people to beat him.
That was insane, by the
Fine,
way.
if you want to make that as a point, if that's your evidence, you probably can. But ain't no way anybody's gonna be able to prove it. At the end of the day, he doesn't have a world championship, and although he is on TV and is like, taking up significant time, he doesn't have a title. You know what I mean?
I
He
don't mind
definitely
it,
doesn't have a
man.
title.
I'm with you. I don't mind it. I
Look,
don't
I'm
mind
not
it,
the
man.
biggest Cope guy. I wasn't really all that excited when he
And it
came
is fun.
in.
I'm a
You
Cope
know what I'm
guy.
saying? But so whatever he's doing is it's cool. It's about as excited as I'm gonna get. That match. By the way,
I look like a
that's
hype.
that's Spike Bat, bro.
That added so much intrigue to that match.
Yeah.
That turned that match up. Like it was like a cool moment, but that
Yeah.
looked like a hype.
No, it definitely did. I saw a video earlier today. It's probably just like a clip of the same angle, but Mox, when Wheeler Yuta came in, Mox was still like, no, no, go take the spot. You got to go outside and get the spot. Like while he's trying to get the drain out of his back, he's still quarterbacking how this match is supposed to go.
That joint looked so painful, son. Like
It
oh,
wasn't even
so
like the
painful.
suplex on it. It was that he's standing up and it's still stuck there, bro.
It felt so GCW. Like
Yeah.
considering that we just watched a broken glass fight at the pay-per-view with Tony Storm and Mariah, but like, yo, good lord, that looked like it took a lot out of you. And it was kind of wild though, because the whole interferences was just out of control. We'll talk more about that on the breakdown of our feuds when we get into it. But good lord,
That
those
was really like for everybody that's familiar with New Japan, this is very House of Torture. It's very, very House of Torture where or even going back to WCW, it's very NWO, where you already know once the bell rings how this match is going to end. There's going to be interference from all angles, all 4 sides of the ring. Somebody's going to distract the ref, low blow or a steel chair or a title belt shot or something like that. You already know what's going to happen.
it's just insane, like how the crowd just be so deflated. Like it's almost like
Because
clockwork.
but look, it's House of Torture for that reason. Like the House of Torture in New Japan is pretty much that. It like
No reaction, just
it's
like
just like,
I
man, all right. It's just all right. You at this point, it's not even worth being upset about. It's like you just
yeah.
accept it. You just accept your
That's what I'm
fate.
saying. This is Moxley's world. We all just living in
Yeah,
it. You
you
know what
just
I'm
accept
saying?
your fate. And but it's a wrap for that program. We got Mox and Swerve coming up.
Gotta be a wrap for that, man. Cope and Christian going off into they maneuver with the patriarchy and the FTR split that's probably going to happen. I think that's going to be a little bit more refreshing and needed.
I don't think FTR splits.
I
I think they
think
split from Cope, but they don't split.
All right. Well, rated FTR, which was all of
Yeah. They're not gonna be with Coke at all.
that was just
They
all.
might imagine like FTR aligned with Christian is interesting.
And then Nick Wayne and what's his face?
Yeah, but you
Wow.
mean their background? Who cares? Like, who cares about Nick Wayne, bro? We pushed them to the side. Christian with FTR feels kind of legit to me. Like, that's a big time tag team and a very evil man in Christian Cage.
I agree.
That's an interesting combination.
That's a nice parallel, though. I could rock with that. I do like that flip. Good booking. Good booking. We did our preps, so now we have our cooked, who's been cooking this week. I'm gonna go with Megan Bain. Megan Bain has been cooking. You know what I mean? A lot of people have been on the Megan Bain bandwagon as of late because of her size, stature. She looks impressive. A couple knocks that I might have, are just the fact that she doesn't talk. She finally said her first words the whole time she's been here last night. She has to decide or really tell us who her character is outside of looking kind of like the evolved version of Lyra Valkyria. And also just accepting that she probably won't win the world title from Toni Storm, but it's okay that she takes a loss this early. It'll be fine. And let's just not assume that it'll go downhill like Deonna Purrazzo and Soraya and a couple other women that have, been in that position of juggernaut, lost, and back burner. But Megan Bain's been cooking. Great watch, great pickup. She's been with AEW through and through, so she's never had a chance to go to the WWE cycle. So I think this is where she gets on her Jade Cargill-ish for the next year and dominates and really just shows why she's a presence. I think her and Statlander could be tied together for ever and ever. You know what I'm saying? I'll be just fine watching those two feud all the time with a belt, without a belt. But Megan Bain's been cooking. Dynasty's on the way. Her title match, Toni Storm, good match. I don't think she wins, but I think it'll be just fine, what comes after it. It seems like there's a lot of fire underneath Megan Bain right now, so I just can't see her fall into the wayside like Deonna Purrazzo. Deonna didn't come looking strong herself. She got some wins, but she didn't look dominant. It looked just like wrestling. Megan is just looking dominant. Stature, appearance, and record. Speaking of records, AEW's ticker tier for AR Fox said absolutely nothing, which I thought was kind of randomly funny. Like, how people got the win-loss records, and they got like Will Ospreay is going for his first world title in the Owen Cup. Chris Statlander, 96-23. Crazy record by Chris Statlander, by the way.
Workhorse.
AR Fox. Real AR Fox. I was like, damn, my man can't even get none. All the matches, he ain't even got a record. He ain't got not a tagline. It's just AR Fox. I was like, damn, no love for AR Fox on that ticker. But yeah. Basically, Megan Bain's cooking. I'm going with Megan Bain, man. How you feel?
I agree, man. She's been, like you said, very dominant. She looks impressive in stature. I wouldn't rush her talking just yet, because what if it doesn't get over? What if it doesn't fly? I don't want to deflate this balloon without her really, really establishing herself. Like, the way that she's been coming out and attacking whoever and looking dominant in these matches, she can afford to lose against the world champ, because that's the world champ. That's not a real loss as long as she gets over within that match. Just like with anything else in wrestling, it's the follow-up. Like, once that match with Toni Storm happens, what's next for Megan Bain? And we have she's not winning the world title, and it seems as though that TBS championship is pretty clogged up. So that's what makes me nervous. It's like, all right, she's not winning a title in AEW anytime soon. So feud-wise, what are we doing? Do we have anything interesting? Like, for example, you see Aminata and what's shorty from House of Black,
Julia Hart.
They have a series going right now where, if you're not tuned into Collision, whatever, that's on you. But they have a series right now where they're tied up. I think they're going into their third match. They have something that they're doing that you can bite into that's going to
Wait,
work out.
Aminata beat Julia?
Yeah, they're 1-up. They're 1-1 right now. Yeah,
Aminata's won a match
yeah,
against
against Julia.
Julia Hart at
Against
that?
Julia Hart. Yeah, yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so they have a series going right now, the two of them, back and forth. So that's gonna be nothing but a benefit for both of them. So who are we attaching to Megan Bayne once this Tony Storm thing is wrapped up? That's gonna be a benefit to Megan Bayne because it's not gonna be a title.
Yeah, it's not gonna be Penelope Ford.
Who's a benefit? Like we can do this back and forth with Chris Statlander, but who else is in the tuck that we can do something interesting with, feud wise, whatever? Do we have somebody that can talk for her if we're not so confident in her talking to her? So we haven't heard it yet. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Can't do 2 title matches taking L's in the same calendar.
Like you can't have her lose to Tony Storm and then turn around and lose to Mercedes Moné.
I agree.
You know what I mean? You can't do that. Like you're not a monster anymore. You're just big.
Goofy gangster.
Right. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, like Megan Bayne for what she's been asked to do, I think has knocked it out of the park. Like I'm impressed. I like it.
I agree.
Yo, to take the F5 on as a finisher is
big shoes to fill. Face descent. So God bless. Good luck and God bless. Who you got for a prepped and cooked this week?
Prepped. Who do I have for prepped? Adam Cole for prepped, oddly enough.
That's so random. That is
it is very random, but it goes into like direction. I like that they didn't immediately bring Adam Cole back and try to put him in with MJF, let's say, or anything main event level. Because
sidebar, look at us being positive. Look at us positively talking about AEW, man. It's the Ringside Club new era, baby, the PG era, man. We talk about
that'd be Cole. You.
We talk about Adam Cole in a positive light, y'all. Here
Dog,
we are, baby.
Man, when he came back, it was looking bad for him, bro. It was looking bad. Like nobody was interested. He came back immediately, went into that MJF program, and nobody wanted to see that, man. Because it didn't logically make the biggest problem was there was no logic behind it. It's like, dog, you were the devil. Now you want us to root for you because we're supposed to boo him just because why?
That is all right. So do you think these let me not even say last. Do you think Adam Cole's AEW run has been a disaster?
Absolutely not. It's not a disaster.
Or maybe just very quiet. Like they're trying to
it's not even that it's quiet. I think they're
like
I think they're just rewiring. I think they're rewiring. I think there's 2 big major things that happen here. One, you can't control injuries. Like he's had some major injuries and major time off. It's going to slow down anybody's momentum, right? So you can't control that. The other part was creative. The devil or the brochacho thing with MJF was super polarizing. There were people that really, really got into it, and there were people that really, really hated it. But once that wore off, once that kind of ran its course, then it was like, all right, bro. That also coincided. It ran parallel with the injuries. So all momentum is gone. And then because that injury kept them out of action, at least for so long, what they tried to do was bring them on TV and do the heel undisputed vibe and all that. And it just didn't catch. You know what I mean? It just didn't catch. So his run has not been a disaster by a long shot. I just think like if you have an injury that requires them basically rebuilding your foot from scratch, what do you expect? You know, and creatively, that MJF program, again, a lot of people loved it. And a lot of people hated it. I don't think there's anybody like in the middle, like, it's cool. You either really, really liked it or really, really disliked it.
It was working, man. It was working for a little minute, but you know,
for some people, I didn't like it at all.
I know you weren't really.
Nah, it's not my vibe. Now, there's things about Adam Cole that I don't like when he gets into some of them programs where it becomes like super melodrama, like I got to talk and cry and whatever you're doing in the, like I could live without that, but I don't think there's any of that going on right now. So Adam Cole at the TBS title level has enough room to kind of rebuild, and gain his momentum. And let's see, like, are you going to add something new to to your repertoire? Do you have to? Is it just a matter of you just need to be around fresh energy? You know what I mean? So we'll
Definitely
see.
need fresh energy, and hopefully this this TNT title win is the fresh energy that he gets. You know what I'm saying? This feud with Daniel Garcia. It's been cool. It's been doing what it needs to do.
Yeah, I think he's in a good enough position now that, again, spoiler free. So don't know if he does or doesn't win this championship Saturday, Sunday, whatever the case. I don't even know what date the match is on. But if he does, that's a good look for him. I think the TBS title, when you're in that space where it can be like the open challenge, that can always be for dog. Look at what the US title did for Cena. People were sick of Cena and had a ball with that US Open. You know what I'm saying?
Gave us a match with Rusev at WrestleMania when he came out on a tank, to which everyone talks about to this day.
Yep.
Gave us Kevin Owens. And that's what I thought Daniel Garcia's title reign would have included. More of those. You know what I mean? It just doesn't feel as exciting. And I would love to see a champion get back to these open challenges on any company. NXT, TNA, more open challenges for the champions. Like, please, you know what I'm saying? Give us some matches where you actually have something at stake. You know what I mean? Whether it's predictable or not, if it's a fire match, I'm not going to be saying, man, I wish the title was on the line. It's like, nah, he actually could have, he got the best of them. So I think the next time they go again, he might have his number.
Yeah.
More open title matches, but who you got for cooked?
Juan Cena.
Juan Bina. He is back.
My man, first of all, he cooked the child on television.
That was nice.
That was cool.
That was pretty. You got him.
That was cool. I could pick that segment apart. There were different things that I liked and disliked about it, but just the fresh energy of seeing Cena be a heel, I think, is all that promo was about. You know, logically, man, if I'm coming out, especially after the turn, I would want more direction that goes into why this happened and what happened or whatever. Like, the fans didn't cause
people.
Yeah, the fan, like, again, logically, the fans didn't cause John Cena to kick Cody Rhodes and join The Rock. That's not what caused it. So we still haven't gotten into his actual motive. We know what his motivation is if we're just looking at it face value. He wants the world title before he retires. Huh?
Not even a mention of The Rock.
Yeah, he didn't mention The Rock. You know, he only mentioned Cody because they were chanting for him.
No Travis Scott mentioned. It's a lot more to talk about. Like,
but
they have a lot of layers to go still.
100%. And I think, like, on one hand, I think it's smart that they hold off on some of that because we still have about a month to go before Mania.
Yes.
You can't give everybody everything at one time. It took him a little bit of time before he was on TV after that turn in the first place. You know, so being patient sometimes doesn't hurt. But with that being said, the reason why I say he was cooking is because, like, the reaction that he got, he played that masterfully. You know, he was a maestro out there. He kind of repeated himself for 20 minutes, but that was cool. You know what I'm saying? He repeated himself for 20 minutes, but he's cooking because he's out there just,
you know what I'm saying? Just go out there and ramble. Just talk to the crowd.
There was no new information.
Talk to the crowd, man. Get the people what they want.
But I think he's cooking because finally, like, we have something fresh to talk about as far as John Cena. You know, for the last few years, it's just been John Cena comes back for an appearance. Prior to that, it was Super Cena that everybody was tired of. So we finally have something fresh, and I think, like, the skill that he has, that he's able to exhibit when he's on a microphone, like, he's elite on the microphone. So he's cooking, and he's in the right season to cook. It's Mania season, so it'll be all right.
Like you said, he spent the last, I want to say, really maybe 10 years just doing mid-card-ish. You know what I'm saying?
Just chilling. U.S. title runs and part-time appearances.
In the crowd with the fans, you know what I'm saying? Bray Wyatt cinematic feuds, getting chokeslammed by The Undertaker, just hosting, like,
he's doing the Firefly Funhouse.
putting
match with
Austin
Bray.
Theory over, which that clearly went nowhere.
No, he didn't put Austin Theory over. Don't
Oh,
matter who won.
oh, my bad. It's like he
Sorry.
won. Theory won. You know what I mean? Like,
My man came out and said, if you beat me, you lose. If I beat you, you lose.
and then walked away, and that was the end of that.
And then Austin Theory is part of a tag team. A-Town Down Under, which worked out for him, by the way. But imagine if that didn't.
You're right. He definitely had a good fallback playing with that with Grayson Waller. That's funny. That is funny. But I agree. I'd have to agree with who's cooking. Cena is absolutely cooking right now. He's smoking on all cylinders. Product he's putting out right now as a heel is definitely going to be something that I think he holds on to for the year. I don't think this is going to be a quick turn back. I think he should be a heel for the rest of the year. And I'll even do you one further before we move on. Do you think he wins the title at Mania?
I think he wins the title. I think this is also a short-term heel run. I think by the time we get to SummerSlam, it's very easy to turn him back. You just haven't turned on the Rock. You know, you realize there's some chicanery going on within the Rock's entity.
Yes.
Have him turn on the Rock because he's done at the end of the year. If I'm holding him at his word, there ain't no next WrestleMania. He's done in December. He's in the Hall of Fame next WrestleMania.
Which is kind of why I'm rocking with the idea that he'll win.
Yeah, I think he wins, but that's also why like John Cena is not retiring as a heel. He's not wrestling his last match as a heel.
It's
So
tough though.
I think we go big one WrestleMania through big two SummerSlam, and that's where you get the turn back. And I think we get Cena as the champ that entire time between now and SummerSlam.
You know, I'm a Cody crybaby. I'm part of the Cody verse. You know what I'm saying? I'm locked in, but I don't want to see Cody lose. I would love to see Cody win that match just to have the notch on his record. Like, yo, John Cena retained at WrestleMania. The last person to retain at WrestleMania was The Miz. And now I'm retaining at WrestleMania in the main event to completely wipe away the fact that Miz is the last person to retain the title in the main event of a WrestleMania. It's against John Cena, and I beat everybody. I'm Cody Rhodes. Same time, John Cena winning would be such a moment.
That's why I think he does it.
Like, that's a moment. Like, yo, he's at 17. He's a heel. He beat Cody Rhodes. Cody's the uber baby face. We're all in peril and despair. He's the corporate champion. The Rock is raising his hand. Everyone's going home in disarray like it's WrestleMania 17, 2001. Like, what's happening right now? And he rolls through the summer. We get Cody on the chase again to freshen things up. And, you know, John loses the belt back to Cody. I like that. I do like that. I absolutely do like that. You know what I'm saying? If there's a fantasy booking that I'd take, I would take that as a good option.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, ish, man. We you know, I think we wrapped up a good amount. We talked about a good amount.
Yep.
You know, we said a feud tracker. Real quick, give me your 3 feuds that you're keeping track of or care to keep track of from all companies. Either company, any company, each company, whichever one you want to do.
I mean, we just talked about the about Cena and Cody, so that would be one of them. But I'm gonna go with the triangle, maybe triangle +1 of Seth Rollins and Punk and Roman Reigns, and then Paul Heyman as the +1. It's very interesting because there's so many different directions that this could go in. I thought immediately after the Elimination Chamber, logically, that The Rock would have to have agreements with more than one person in that Elimination Chamber, because what really guarantees Cena wins? The way that they rolled those segments out was like you had to, at least place your bets that one of your 2 or more guys was going to pull that out. I think the other guy is Seth Rollins. I think at some point
with The Rock after all the BS it's been through.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Because Rock and Roman ain't on the same page. Rock and Roman ain't on the same page at all. So that's one theory, or at least one direction. The other theory or direction, not even theory or direction, we know that Paul Heyman has a favorite at the old CM Punk. So what does that look like? We saw and it wasn't by accident that Roman Reigns felt the way about Paul Heyman being in the ring with CM Punk at the end of that cage match. It's the only reason that he speared CM Punk. Punk and him were just on the same team a
Yes.
couple months ago. So that's a sore spot for him. So that's interesting. That feud or that triangle. Seth is beefing with everybody. Now Punk and Roman have beef over Paul Heyman. Where does Paul Heyman's allegiance lie? Like, that's all very, very interesting to me. So that's one. I'm gonna go with another triangle. Bianca Belair and Naomi and Jade is very, very interesting. Bianca's in this match with Rhea and Io Sky. Triple threats are no DQ. So maybe there's somebody that comes in and interferes on her behalf or against her. We'll see. But I'm very, very interested in this mostly because this is Jade's first single feud or singles feud rather since she's
Yes.
come to WWE. And she's been there for what, about a year now, right? Does WrestleMania mark a year?
Yeah. Royal
Right.
Rumble.
So Rumble, so over a year, exactly, over a year. She's been in WWE for over a year, and now Naomi is going to be her first singles feud. So this is showtime. Let's see what you got. You know, you're not in a tag team. You're not able to get the hot tag and do hot tag ish. Let's see what you do as a singles competitor.
The bell has to ring.
Right. I mean, and Naomi's a hell of a person to be in there with. She's a general.
Yes.
She's a general. We saw her lead TNA.
Very
We
good.
we've seen her in WWE for decades. Like, she's a veteran, she's a general. And again, like, I think that they're cool, super cool with each other. So they'll probably give each other liberties to make it look even better than your average back and forth.
Agreed.
A third feud.
Mm-hmm.
A third feud. I don't know if it's more so much a feud as it is a storyline, but this MJF and Hurt Business thing is interesting. MJF and the Hurt Business, MJF and MVP intrigued me as soon as I heard the music hit.
Yeah.
So this is a rebranding one way or another for MJF, and that's why it's interesting because this is adding something new to his act. You know what I mean? So
has crossed paths with so many people this year. It's actually entertaining. I feel like he's interacted with more people this year than he did when he was world champion.
100%. 100%. And quick too. Like, none of these have been really long term.
Out of here, bro. They literally, the report was like they were just like, hey, we tried and it's not what they want. So Jeff Jarrett, we'll see you at the Owen Hart, and MJF on to Hangman. Literally.
But like, and MJF and Hangman is if you want to talk about feuds, I like MJF and Hangman as a feud. You know, again, like, that feels very like we can do this forever type. You know,
I don't like Hangman's haircut though. It feels very Boy Meets World.
Feels Boy Meets World, very daytime TV. Very daytime TV. He looks like a guy in the crowd of the Ellen show.
MJF is getting closer and closer to that Owen Hart Nation of Domination meme. Not.
You think he joins?
Nah, I think this is how we get Hammerstone and Richard Holiday. I think this is how we get Hammerstone and Wardlow. I think this is how we get
Hammerstone is a free agent. He's not with TNA.
Hammerstone is a free agent. Holiday is a free agent. He's just been on the Indies, recently on the Indies and GCWs. Okay. A Dynasty reunion at Dynasty is kind of fire. Like that.
I'll take it. I'm buying.
I'm sold. Like,
I'm buying.
We was there in MLW. We remember
ML-Dub.
They was the tag team champs.
Skinny MJF.
Hammerstone was the breakout star. Everyone was saying the open weight champion, the monster.
Yeah.
I think a Dynasty
with the Wale theme music from Ambition. With the Wale instrumental.
Yeah.
I was there, B.
I was there. We was there, yo. We was at MLW, man. I would love a Dynasty reunion, but I think because Richard Holiday is not as well known to the crowd per se, and more so just the super sickos. Like, you're not just a sicko, you're the super sicko like us that actually was at MLW.
If you tapped in, if you tapped in the ML, if you've been tapped in the MLW for a while, you're a sicko.
Yes, then you
It's
know.
not even like you just came across it. Like you got like Jacob Fat, like the what was the group Jacob Fatu was with?
Contra, which is still around
Contra.
now.
Yeah, but like original Contra, OG Contra.
Contra.
Yeah.
Son with the tassels on his shoes was wavy.
This
The
is like
horns on the joints.
yeah. Jacob Fatu with no shoes.
Mads Kruger is still around, son.
Swerve was the world champ.
Tom Lawler was actually in the main event.
Tom Lawler was like figuring wrestling out. I don't think he was wrestling before MLW.
Yeah, he just came through and was like, "Yo, I'm the champ now. That's what's up."
Oh.
So yeah, I think it's gonna be Hammerstone and Wardlow. I think Wardlow comes back into the fold through MJF. Somehow, some way. Because what else is he doing?
He's another guy. He's another guy on that list. Like he was up there with the Wardlows and the not Wardlows, but the Miro,
DMD, Jack Perry.
Yeah, but at least we've seen all them guys. We
haven't
saw
seen
DMD not too long ago. We saw Jack Perry not too long. It was long, but I don't remember when's the last time we saw Wardlow.
Easily during the height of the Undisputed Kingdom, which didn't really have much of a height. He lost and he was out of here, which I think could be a year at this point now. So
it almost feels like he was there, like Punk was still there. Like this is a minute ago, dog.
Because he was on Collision power bombing people with people chanting his name.
He lost the title on Collision, right?
He did to Samoa Joe.
So yeah.
Yo, he was a 3-time TNT champion.
Was it Samoa Joe or was it like the Luchasaurus Christian connection?
I think like Darby or something. Like
wasn't it Luchasaurus and Christian? Like
it could have been. I think that's what Cole.
I think it was that.
Man's was a TNT champ. Like
regardless, whenever it was, like if neither one of us can figure it out, it's been a minute.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a TNT champ, so I think Wardlow and Hammerstone is the way you compete with the Hurt Syndicate. I think that's going to be really good. Either that, or I was going to go with him and Hangman just teaming up. But I think
I see your theory of the dynasty seems way more plausible because, like again, like the muscle of a Wardlow, the muscle of a Hammerstone. We know like there's some sick business to happen right there. Plus, that would be a nice 4-on-4 because we know Cedric Alexander's coming in.
Yes.
There's no way he's not coming in. So you got a 4-on-4 right there.
Yes.
With Dynasty versus her Syndicate.
Holiday. I think and he's teasing it. He's been I just think it works. Like it makes the most sense. So that's one of mine. That's one of my few trackers this week is going to be that actually, because that right there has me like Dynasty? Dynasty or Dynasty.
Solid.
Not bad.
Solid.
I'm here for it. And it gives the tag team champions something to do because the current tag team division is not in the least bit exciting right now. So they're going to continue to hurt people. And MJF, the reason I said MJF Hangman is because it gives them a reason to go for the tag titles. You know, Hangman does the strange bedfellow tag teams, and MJF is, prone to do that as well. He hasn't been an AEW tag team champion, so he can be a Grand Slam champion or be on the track to be a Grand Slam champion by being a tag team champion. And it gives Hangman something to do. And I'm cool with Hangman and MJF versus Lashley and Bobby Lashley and Shelton. Like that's actually pretty fine with me. Like that's actually actually ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a far cry, but hey, like if the Hurt Syndicate has to have a threat for the tag titles, I'm cool with it being Hangman and MJF without having to venture off into fantasy land of Hammerstone and Richard Holiday. Like,
right.
I think I'm just curbing the expectations. That's all. I just expect Hangman to save MJF as a favor more than I see a debut of somebody new.
Right.
So that's one feud for me. My second feud is going to be whatever's going on in the Intercontinental title picture. Braun Breaker versus everybody at this point. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Mania picture looks like. I'm still going to go out on a limb and plus 1,000 it that Penta is not involved in the Intercontinental title picture. And he is going to be in a tag team title match with Phoenix. If Phoenix debuts before then. I think this is
a lot of people saying that Phoenix like debuts at Mania.
That's so uncharacteristic of them.
But I mean, if there's a lot going on, I don't think they could. They don't lose anything by having him debut in like a multi-man match, for example.
I was thinking he was going to save him from Dunn and Ludwig.
Or could, yeah.
But the way it's going with Braun, it's like, they're striking while the iron's hot. So I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. And
that's one of those where it's, to me, that's closer to 50-50 than not.
Yes.
On one hand, Braun is Braun. Like, he's doing his thing. But on the other hand, Penn is hot. Do you want Braun to beat Penna? Do you want Penna to beat Braun? Like, the direction there isn't as clear or cut and dry. So
Penta could use that win more than Braun, and Braun could be just fine in the loss. He'll bounce back because he's going to go to the world title picture next, most likely. I think sooner than later. I think he'll be involved in the world title picture this year.
Yeah, he'll be involved in the world title picture, but let's assume Jey Uso beats Gunther. Jey Uso's beating Braun unless that's a really, really quick reign for Jey.
I don't
Jey
see
Uso's
that.
beating Braun.
I see that being SummerSlam-ish. If him or LA Knight ain't Money in the Bank winners, then I could see that being a SummerSlam Braun break.
So we have time. Yeah, we have time.
We got time, but I just think Penta goes for the tag titles with Phoenix if Phoenix debuts. If he doesn't debut, Penta, it's a Mania for the IC title for sure. I think that's the move. Sheamus, it's unfortunate you won't get your title reign or your WrestleMania moment, but here's the Andre the Giant Battle Royal to get you going. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got that for Sheamus. Yeah, IC title picture right now is cooking. And then lastly, my third feud is going to be whatever is going on with, if I want to go NXT, I'm going to go NXT. The current urban television show for wrestling, NXT. We got Trick Williams, Javon Evans, and Obafemi currently in the main event picture, and I'm loving it. Because they're probably all going to team up to take on the new faction, which is called Dark Syndicate, I think, or Dark Slate.
It's yeah, I saw something like this. It's like Dark Syndicate, something like that.
Dark Syndicate or
something
Dark
like
Syndicate.
That. Yeah.
And I think Trick will be revealed as the leader of them. I'm gonna go on.
I've been seeing that theory. Yeah, something like they don't really attack the ring when he's out, in the ring.
And the push down of Javon, it was a lot going on. And I think that is going to be a good holdover in the main event picture for a while. Javon Evans is nice. He's one of the most popular people every single week, every single match. He's getting better and better. He's the young OG. I think he's going to be the youngest NXT champion, the youngest WWE champion ever.
He's like 22.
Like 20, my dude. He's literally 20. He hasn't even turned 21 yet. He might have just turned 21.
Yeah.
So, like, by the time he's 23, he should be holding a world title, which is kind of wild in this era. But
that's like, previous was what, Orton or The Rock? One of the two of them are like the youngest world title guys.
Yeah, it's like Randy Orton levels.
Yeah.
So I think Javon Evans is primed for a great, great run this year. Finally, Ricky Saints, wherever he ends up going, I hope it'll be somewhere meaningful. But I think he's going to be primed for a feud with the Culling, which is Sean Spears' group next. So, that'll get him in the North American title picture, give him something to sink his teeth into, a feud, a reason to care, people on his back, give him a good belt, a good match to stand and deliver against a veteran, someone that he knows from AEW. So I think it's just the upper mid card is looking better. Like, that's my feud tracker, is the upper mid card, the upper main event scene in NXT right now. All solid. It's picking up from where we last left off when I was saying that division needs help. Now that everyone's here, it's getting better. Much, much better. So kudos to them, to NXT. You know what I'm saying? Had to talk about the men's side of things. We always talk about the women for NXT. So Jordan Grace looking like an actual lady for a change has been messing me up. Like, actually dressed like a you know what I'm saying? Just dressed down. You're like, that's Jordan Grace. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy to see what WWE does. Like, it's funny. Like how we said main event, like they really would be larger than life in a WWE nucleus. Like, they would look the part for real, like a superstar. Jordan Grace looks like a superstar in the WWE umbrella. So it's dope to see. Very, very dope to see. So, yeah, that's that, man.
Yeah, man. A lot happening in the world of the graps.
We talked it up. We definitely got a lot of good content out.
Yeah.
We recapped everything. Slow news week. We made it happen regardless.
Got SmackDown coming up tomorrow, which I believe Roman Reigns will be on the show.
Yes, he is.
Where's SmackDown tomorrow? Because they're still international, aren't they?
Italy.
It's like Italy. Yeah. Yep. So tap into SmackDown, and there's 2 episodes of Collision this week. So
it's gonna be some fun wrestling to watch.
There's some news, and then of course, back to Raw on Monday. So there's a lot going on. But we're on that road to WrestleMania. We're also on the road to the next AEW pay-per-view.
It's gonna be a doozy.
It's a lot happening. But with that being said, we did the damn thing. Peace of the good sir. Blame Boogie.
Love to y'all, man. Thank y'all for subscribing, viewing, telling a friend to tell a friend. It's the almighty R.S.C. Every single Thursday, any single Thursday. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got no pay-per-views coming up for a little minute, so I think we're in a good streak. I'm lying. Dynasty's in 2 weeks. Not bad, though.
Yeah, Dynasty's like a quick turnaround. It's a quick turnaround, which is fun for the TV because things move. Like AEW always has that top of the year lull because they don't have any pay-per-views between December and now, so. But yeah.
Crazy to say. It's literally been now, April 6th. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, it's the Ringside Club for the good sir Blame Boogie, for the good sir Chad Law. My name is A.O. Baker. We out of here. Peace.